Hey guys, welcome to this video. Maybe you're going through a depression right now. You've gone through a breakup and it's just wrecked your world. If so, you're in the right place. I teach people how to learn anything faster, and sometimes a blockage to learning faster is you've just gone through a breakup and you're devastated, or you're in anxiety and depression. So I want to deal with some of those things of a situation where you may be trying to learn something, you may be trying to go about your life, but you've gone through a breakup, and we need to help you break through this brain trauma of this breakup so you can get your life back. And I can help you learn things faster. But we got to get your life back. We got to get you through this breakup or this depression or this anxiety. So if you found this video, maybe you're going through a terrible breakup, a very, very painful breakup, and you cannot believe the pain that you're in, and you're lost. You're just reaching out. You're looking for help. You're searching. Where can I find information on how to get my ex back, or where can I find information on breakups, or how long the breakups last, or how long until she comes back, or are they in a rebound relationship, or what's their attachment style? Are they anxious attachment or an avoidant or whatever? And your brain's just racing, and you're looking for all these answers. On this channel, we often talk about the brain in regards to learning, and memorizing or speed reading or something like that. But sometimes we need to understand all parts of the brain and all experiences. What is going on in the brain in a breakup? Now, not only when you understand what is happening in the brain during a breakup, it not only helps you cope with your breakup and what you're going through, but it's what everybody wants who's going through a breakup, right? To get your ex back. Or everybody doesn't want that, but a lot of you do. First of all, what's going on in the brain and what's happening? And when you understand both of those, it does make it more likely that you could potentially get your ex back if you kind of understand how your brain is working and what's going on in their brain. It's not a guarantee, but first of all, you need to deal with your pain and your grief. What is going on in your brain? You were going along, you were in this relationship. Maybe as far as you were concerned, everything was good. Or here's the irony. Maybe you thought you were thinking, I might be breaking up with that person. I don't know, I'm not sure how it's going. I think I'm going to break up with them. And then they broke up with you, and you're like, what? What's going on? No, don't leave me. And then you go into this despair and depression. How could that be? How could that be possible when just last week you were thinking of breaking up with them? Or maybe you weren't thinking of breaking up with them. Maybe you knew y'all were going through problems, but you just figured it was a phase and y'all would get through it together, and you were not thinking of breaking up with them. But now here you are, and you find yourself broken up with. By the way, the person who did the breaking up, the dumper, they can also be going through grief and sadness after a breakup. I think the misconception is that because they had more time to accept the breakup because they knew they were going to break up with you or whoever, that their brain takes it a little bit easier. That is true to an extent, depending on how long they had to think about this and plan it out. If it was months or years, then certainly that's the case. But oftentimes, the person who has the dumping also their brain is going through this emotional trauma. What's happening? When we're with somebody, our brain is producing oxytocin and dopamine. We're with them, we're getting those feel-good hormones, and our brain is associating these hormones of oxytocin and dopamine to that person. So we're like, oh my gosh, this is so wonderful, this is so awesome. And then boom, the supply is cut. You have no supply. And it sends your brain into panic mode. Your body gets that rush of cortisol and adrenaline, which are the cortisol is a stress hormone. So you went from oxytocin and dopamine to the fight or flight, the cortisol shooting through your body. Now, this cortisol is good to get you through the trauma, but if it lasts for an extended period of time, it could lead to, depression, anxiety. It's not a good thing. The part of the brain is called the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that's going to help you in your your impulse control, not being so impulsive. But during this breakup process, and this is what you have to fight against. This is why it's so important to understand the brain, because this is what you have to fight against. If you have any chance of getting back with this person, and you may not, but if you have any chance of getting back with this person, you have to fight the urges to text them and tell them, I am in so much pain right now. I'm hurting so much. This is so painful for me. It's natural. I've done it. But here's the thing. You're impulsive. I got to do this. I got to go show up. I got to go show up at their house, and I got to knock on their door. I got to tell them, beg them to get back together. Things that you rationally know. If somebody else was doing it, you'd say, whoa, 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 chill out a little bit here. Don't do that. But your prefrontal cortex is impaired, so you're acting impulsively. You have to stop that. You have to stop that right away. When someone requests a breakup, you have to give them the breakup. Now, if you did something that was terrible, if you cheated on them, or if you, punched their dog in the face, apologize. Apologize for what you did wrong. Apologize once. Make it a sincere apology. Make it a real apology. And then give them the breakup. You have to let them experience the consequence of the breakup. If you do not, you are going to become their security blanket. And they've broken up with you, and here you are every 2 days. I'm in so much pain. I'm in so much trauma. I'm in so much stress right now. That is not attractive. That is not attractive. Your impulse control in your prefrontal cortex is gone, so it's telling you to do this. But it's what you have to fight against. That is not attractive. You have to break all contact with them. You have to give them the breakup. Let them experience the breakup just as you are experiencing the breakup. Don't give them that constant support of, you're wonderful, I love you, I need you back, I'm nothing without you. That's not attractive. They're not going to find that attractive. So what's going on in your brain? You had this oxytocin and dopamine. The supply got cut. The adrenaline and cortisol impairs your prefrontal cortex. You have impulsive. You're texting them. You're begging them to get back together. You are ruminating. What went wrong? What could I have done wrong? What could I have done better? Did I make this mistake? This is what I went wrong. And you got this long list of all the things you did wrong. Now here's the thing. That's not as bad as texting them all the time and showing up at their house and all that, because this they don't know about. They don't know that you're ruminating and you're playing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over. We have to get to a point where you're no longer doing that. And over time that will diminish. But that's not as bad. You're not harming yourself as much as far as the relationship, your chances of getting back in the relationship, because they don't know about it. You must give them the breakup. Your brain is experiencing the consequences of the breakup. They must too. No contact. Don't check their social media. Don't text them. If you did something wrong, apologize. Apologize once, and then give them the breakup. As painful as it is, you have to. And why is it painful? It's painful because all these pathways in your brain have been connected to them. Oh, that restaurant that y'all went together. That time y'all went on a walk there. Y'all took that trip together. You went to movies together. You like to listen to this music together. You liked that area of town, this area of town, that circle of friends, these people. And you got all these connections with them and all these pathways in your brain, and everything you do. It's that song, everything reminds me of you. I don't know what the song is. I started to quote it and then I got off track. But your brain has all these connections with them. You have it's the oxytocin or the dopamine. The supply has been cut. Now, if they are in pain also, what you and they both may be tempted to do, and do not do this. Do not do this. Your brain is in so much pain. fMRIs have determined that the breakup of a relationship can be as painful as a physical pain, as getting a hammer hit. I don't know what the specific pain was, but pain like, getting your hand hit with a hammer, or physical pain. They have showed this with an fMRI. It's the same pain processes in the brain as physical pain. So you're going through this physical pain, and when you're going through this physical pain, you and even the person who did the dumping is going through physical pain. What is the instinctive reaction when a human is going through pain? I need to get out of this pain. The brain is saying, we got to get out of this pain. We got to get out of this pain fast. I know what I'll do. I'll get in a rebound relationship. And the first person I see, that person over there, they're remotely attractive. I'm kind of attracted to them. I kind of respect them. Hey, let's get together. And it's a Band-Aid. It's putting a Band-Aid on the pain. You're temporarily easing the pain. That is literally the worst thing you could do for your brain after a breakup is a rebound relationship. You must give your time to heal. You need to lean into this pain. You need to feel the pain of the breakup. You need to let your brain process it in a healthy way. You process it in a healthy way by maybe talking to a counselor, maybe talking to your friends, but not beating yourself up. When you got dumped or when you got broken up with, they may have given you a list of everything you did wrong. And you know what? You might be a good person. And so you're thinking, you know what? I did do those things wrong, so I could have done this better. Guess what? Everybody could have done everything better in a relationship. But I very seriously doubt that when that person, and this happens all the time, it's happened to me, they break up with you and they give you a list of 10 things you've done wrong, and you're like, oh my gosh, I did do those things wrong. So I could have done so much better. Oh my gosh, I did not show you attention. Oh my gosh, I did not take you out to dinner enough. Oh my gosh, let me make up for those. I will take you to dinner. I promise you. I will show you attention. I'm so sorry. Let's get back together. That is not attractive. When you're in a relationship, you have physical attraction and you have emotional attraction. Most likely the physical attraction is still there. Unless you've gained a lot of weight or you've really let yourself go. They started dating you, they had physical attraction to you. They probably still do. It's the emotional attraction, the loss of respect, the feeling neglected, fights that happen. The emotional attraction gets lower. And when the emotional attraction gets low enough, that's when they break up with you. And they broke up with you because the emotional attraction was lower. You don't reestablish that emotional connection by apologize once and saying all the things that you're going to do to make it better. That's not going to inspire that emotional connection. Ironically, walking away, giving them the breakup, and not contacting them shows strength. And by showing strength, you are reestablishing that emotional attraction. Wow. Maybe I did make a mistake letting them go. They are so strong. Everybody else I broke up with in the past, they begged to stay with me. They're texting me all the time. This person just let me go. Wow, they're strong. What is it? I'm finding myself a little attracted to them again. Now, you don't want to break contact with them as a gimmick or a manipulation to get them back. But I am telling you that's oftentimes what happens because it is true. You are demonstrating strength, but you need to demonstrate this strength for you, not them. You need to break contact with them for your brain, to give your brain a chance to reestablish new connections, new ways of having fun. Go for a walk, talk to friends. Not a rebound relationship. Because when you get in that rebound relationship, you're masking the pain. You're not dealing with it. You're not processing it. You're not talking with friends. You're not making yourself better. Maybe you need to go to the gym and make yourself better. You're not learning what caused the breakup. Maybe you did do some things wrong. So figure that out. Learn about attachment style. What is anxious attachment? What is an avoidant attachment style? Learn about these things. Process the breakup. Figure out what you could have done better without beating yourself up. Find what you didn't like about them. Remind yourself, hey, it wasn't always that good. But don't get in a rebound relationship because here's what's going to happen. 2 or 3 weeks later, you get in a rebound relationship. You put a mask over it. Then the person you're in a rebound relationship with, you're not dealing with your pain. You're not dealing with your hurt. You're not dealing. The brain cannot be injured and not heal. And then 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the road, that's going to pop out. And the new partner is going to be like, why is this person so passive aggressive with me? Why are they taking out all this anger with me? Why are they so distant? Why are they withdrawing? Well, I'll tell you why. Because they got in a rebound relationship and they never dealt with, in their brain, your brain must deal with the breakup. It must deal with the pain. If your ex is in a rebound relationship, that is actually a very good sign for you. because it's probably not going to last. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Maybe they'll it over time it'll evolve and they'll be into a long-term relationship, and if they are, wish them well, right? That's the best thing that you can do. But you've got to get to a place mentally where you are okay without them. Because if you're not, if 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the road they do contact you again, they will be able to pick up on the fact if you are still just waiting for them to contact you. You must deal with your life. Now, when you are broken up, deal with your life in a positive way. So when they do reach out, you are better, you are healthier, you are wiser, you are more confident, you are stronger, you are an improved version of who they left. That's when they'll be reattracted to you. Your pain, when you are broken up, when you're texting them, I'm in so much pain, I want to get back together, that is evidence to you. Your pain is evidence to you that you should get back together. It's not evidence to them. You need to work on yourself. When a relationship is ended, not only did you lose the present relationship, but you start dwelling on the old memories, and you're depressed over what you lost in the future. You lost your future plans, your future hopes. You lost all of that. So it's not just a loss of a current relationship. It's a loss of all the dreams that you had. And you need to remind yourself, hey, you know what? I have lost the future I planned with them. But there's a quote by Marcus Aurelius, and it says, remind yourself of what you've been through and what you've had the strength to endure. Let me say that again. Remind yourself of what you've been through and what you've had the strength to endure. What I mean by that is remind yourself of all the previous breakups. Or if this was your first big breakup, maybe you don't have a previous breakup to remind yourself of. But if you do, remind yourself, you know what? A couple of years ago, I broke up with that person, or they broke up with me, and I was devastated. I was crushed. I did not think the pain could be any worse. I was in agony. But I'm okay now. I wouldn't take them back anyways. Remind yourself of those things. Because right now you're in a state of despair maybe, where there's nothing in the future. There's nothing I can be happy about. Wait a minute. I felt this way before. And not only did I get okay again, I got okay to fall in love again and feel this way about somebody else. I'm going to be okay again. And if you don't have a previous relationship to look back upon that, reminding yourself of what you've been through, just think back to something in your life that you were so distraught over, that you thought was the end of the world. And now looking back, you're like, well, you know what? That's okay. There's always something like that you can find. And also, try not to have anger. Keep a healthy brain by trying not to have anger at your ex, although it's difficult, especially if they cheated on you or they mistreated you or they lied to you or they manipulated you. Here's another Marcus Aurelius quote. Before you blame someone else, think about the last time you did the same thing. Before you blame someone else, think about the last time you did the same thing. Journal. Journal all the things you're grateful for. Take control of your body. Get healthier. It is almost impossible to be depressed if you are feeling good about your body. Now, here's what I've learned. When I go to the gym, if I'm depressed, during and an hour or two after the gym, I'm feeling great. Does the negative thoughts sometimes set in later, or the depression sometimes set in later? Of course. But over time, it gets less and less and less. And when you're working out or when you're exercising and that 1 or 2 hours after, you're feeling great. Take care of your body, and that's going to take care of your brain. A healthy body is a healthy brain. It's going to give you confidence too, and it's a signal to the world that you appreciate yourself, that you are confident in yourself. You know, a breakup is like a death. It really is. You have lost the relationship, but sometimes you've lost your own identity. Your identity was attached to that person. So you're grieving not only the death of the relationship, but the death of your identity. you maybe had the same friends, or you did the same things, or maybe they were a high status person and you enjoyed that. Frankly, you enjoyed it. They were pretty successful and they were a high status person and you enjoyed that identity. Or she was beautiful, at least in your eyes, and you would love that identity of being with her. Or they just told you you were so awesome, man, you're so smart, you're so strong, you're so funny, you're so intelligent, and they would compliment you. And then how you saw yourself was not how you saw yourself, but how you saw yourself through their eyes. And when they broke up with you, they didn't just leave, they took that version of yourself that you loved so much, the version that they saw that you only saw after they saw it. And then after they got to know you, they broke up with you, and you feel like, not only did I lose them, I lost the version of myself that they saw. You did not. You did not. You did not. They did not take that version of you with them. That version of you is still you. Get your body back. Get your health back. Get your mind back. Do a gratitude journal. Get a counselor if you need it. Do not reach out. Do not contact them. And we're talking about the brain and how brains process breakups. They need to experience the consequences of the breakup. They need to feel the breakup just as you have felt the breakup. They cannot feel the consequences of the breakup if you are contacting them, if you are telling them how much you miss them. Give them the breakup. Folks, the brain is amazing. I'm a 2-time USA memory champion. I've held the record for the fastest to memorize a deck of cards in the United States. When the brain is calm and relaxed and healthy and thinking properly, you can learn so much. You can learn so much quicker. And one thing that can be blocking you from learning is grief, depression, and anxiety. We want to clear all that out of the way so you can focus on being the person you want to be. I have an online memory course. It's called Black Belt Memory. If you click the link below in the description, go get my memory course. Start learning something new. You're going through a breakup? Learn something new. Get my memory course. And maybe memorize information about relationship styles or attachment styles. Or you want to learn a new hobby. You want to learn how to play the guitar or whatever. Get my memory course and divert your attention to something positive. I hope this helped. And if you are going through depression and grief and anxiety and a difficult breakup, man or woman, lady, whoever you are, I've been there. Most people have been there. Let's get you having a healthy, quick brain, and let's help you become the best person you can be. All the best.